Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 39 of The Weird Turn Pro. I'm Mo Strummel in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I'm Jason Winfield in Lamont, PA. 39 episodes. Wow. And this week we have with us Matthew Welde, right? Did I get it right?
That's correct. It's good enough for me.
Awesome. And where are you, Matthew?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now.
Once again, I'm outnumbered.
Yes, you are. I met Matthew at D's once again, which seems to be our what would you call that? Our seed location. Like we seem to be meeting some very good songwriters and singers there, and Matthew's one of them. So I asked him to be on the show.
Awesome.
How are you doing today, Matthew?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, I love these too, dude. I've been going up there pretty much at least a few Mondays a month for the bluegrass from 6 to 8.
Yeah,
those guys are badass. East Nash Grass.
Yep,
those guys are cool. I'm trying to twist their arm to play with me somehow, some way. So I'm still working on those guys, but they're just so good, man. Like they're killer.
I've taken people there who are not big bluegrass fans to see them, and they walk out of there and they're bluegrass fans.
Oh, dude, it's undeniable. Yeah.
It's
crazy. So yeah, that's really cool. It's a privilege to go be able. It's 5 minutes from my house, so it's easy.
Oh, that's nice. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, listen, before we get started, I want to remind everyone that our guests get a gift certificate from Belcourt Taps, courtesy of Rose and the folks down there at Belcourt Taps. They've also opened a place right down the street, I think, called Cabana Taps, and then they have Alley Taps downtown. So they're a great company, and also our viewers have a chance to win a gift certificate. So when they come to Nashville, they can eat at Belcourt Taps on Rose and the Weird Turn Pro. And the way you do that is all you have to do to become eligible to win the gift certificate is make a comment in the comment page on Facebook or YouTube. And so once you post a comment near the end of the show, we will draw the winner from the list of people who made the comment. Did I do that right?
Yeah, you did that right. And before you even finish saying it, we already have Travis DeCastro having made a comment.
I see that. He always calls me No when he types something in. I don't know why he calls me No instead of Mo. It's very funny.
Spending years in management, when Travis presses anything and an O after it, it's immediately telling somebody no.
Very good. So listen, Matthew, we don't like to beat around the bush or anything. We like to get right to the music. So would you like to get us started and tell us what to play and whatever it's about? That's fine. It's up to you.
For sure, man. Yeah, I'd love to do one. Thanks for the gift certificate too. I appreciate that. I actually played there last night at that place, Cabana Taps.
Oh, excellent.
I haven't been in there yet. It's pretty nice.
They just opened. Yeah, they just opened apparently. It's a cool room. It's real big. It's nice and open.
Good.
Big windows. It was fun.
That's all right. Great.
What should I do here? So I want to do one that I haven't done. I'm going to throw these headphones on too. Yeah, I know, Mo, I mentioned to you that, we did I did the 30 songs in 30 days, but I just kind of want to do new shit if you guys are cool with that. So I just wrote this song yesterday or the day before. That's why
we'll do the world debut right here.
Awesome. So this, I guess, is a world premiere then, guys.
Yeah. There you go.
Whoa. All right. Let's give this one a whirl. All right. She was born to be an outlaw's daughter, fit to fly like a seabird in the fall. She headed south in the car that daddy bought her. He said, come back with all your fingers, or don't come back at all. She made Redding by sundown with a hiker who was hitching with some worry on his face. She said, don't sweat it, man, it sounds like you don't like her, and you're too old to be crashing your folks' place. And he said, take me across the borderline, or carry me all the way. And yesterday's a stitch in time, we fared another day. Take me across the borderline, carry me all the way. Tomorrow's fast approaching and I'm wide awake. She almost cut him loose outside of Fresno. They stopped in LA and struggled to get out. Lost in the canyon where broken dreams often echo. Keep driving south, she told herself, and keep on driving south. He said, I'd like to try my luck in Rosarito. But drop me anywhere across the line. I do appreciate you flying like a seagull. And I know that I don't top the list of all that's on your mind. He said, just take me across the borderline, or carry me all the way. Yesterday's a stitch in time, we fared another day. Take me across the borderline, carry me all the way. Tomorrow's fast approaching and I'm wide awake. Wide awake. Have I made a grave mistake? Mexico awaits and my Spanish isn't great. But take me across the borderline, carry me all the way. Yesterday's a stitch in time, we fared another day. Take me across the borderline, carry me all the way. Tomorrow's fast approaching and I'm wide awake. Tomorrow's coming soon and I'm wide awake.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude. That's a really good song, man.
Fuck yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, is right. That is a great song.
Nice, dude. I know, I'm stoked on that, dude. I wrote that yesterday. I'm like fired up on it.
You should be. You should be.
I love it. The imagery is beautiful, and
Nice.
the overall, the sound and I mean, it's just, that's a really
Dude, anything that I think kind of sounds like Towns, I'm like, all right.
yeah, exactly.
The shit out of that, dude. I know.
Yeah,
It's
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're in that pasture with him, you are in the right place.
like, I don't know what it reminds, but it reminds me of that like world. I'm just like, oh shit, all right, I'll probably stick with this one. I'm psyched to play. That's the first time I ever played it for anybody, so I appreciate it. Well, besides my girl, but she doesn't like it, so you know.
Yeah, you know,
True story.
Hey, they're the toughest critics.
100%. It keeps me working, you know.
Right.
Keeps me,
Hope
you know,
that's the way it works. Yeah,
keeps
you
me
don't want
going
to be
for it.
feeding you a lot of crap either.
Exactly.
You know, like,
100%. I completely agree, dude.
And that's a
Yeah.
long haul from Fresno to the border, dude.
Yeah, it is, dude. For
That's-
sure.
And
For sure.
And truthfully, I can understand why. I hate to say this. My apologies to anybody who might live in Fresno, but there's a reason why it's called Fresno.
Yeah, no, exactly, dude. Well, it's not too far of a cry from Stockton, and although I don't also want to offend any Bakersfield people, Stockton is one of the smelliest towns I've ever been through. You know? I mean, if you drive on the 5 from LA to San Fran, you're in for a real treat, you know.
well, you know what? Yeah, since you're bringing this up, let's talk about it because you lived in LA for a while, right? So
Well, I was in LA. Yeah, I just was out there for the past couple years. Before I got down here, I was in New York in Brooklyn for 5 years before that. So they're both just different, you know. And even coming here too, yeah, songwriting it's different everywhere, you know, and a lot of it has to do with the aesthetics. I feel like LA and New York kind of have their own sound. I guess Nashville does too. I guess, you know, everywhere has a sound, but I think the songwriting is more appreciated here than anywhere else I've been, you know. For whatever reason, you know, I don't know why, but people definitely give a shit about a song, so that's pretty cool.
And it's interesting here. It's like, I mean, I don't like when and I mean, you can address this, but I mean, when I play somewhere or out when there's a bunch of songwriters and you're playing, people like come up and, you know, it's not like it's a competition. It's like, wow, that's
oh, for sure.
That was a crazy song. You know, how did you, you know, I mean, people legitimately want to talk about your songs instead of, you know, trying to figure out how to beat your song. You know,
sure.
I mean, that's the business end, I guess. But, you know, it's just, it's still, I mean, it's still the kind of town where, you know, when you hear a great song, it's just a great song. It doesn't matter.
It's just a great song for sure. I mean, it's funny too. I mean, everyone writes in their own way, I guess. There's a lot of co-writing. There's a lot of all this stuff out here. It's cool though that, like, you know, I'll just overhear people in conversation at a bar or something be like, yeah, man, well, I wanted to write it with this chick. You know, I've been hanging on to this idea for 9 months and I just was ready to write. It's like, I'm like, fuck yeah, because I'm like holding on to like a song idea, like I'm like, you know, it's like I've been waiting to write this. I'm like, that's what I'm fucking talking about right there, man.
Yeah,
like, I mean, I don't do that, but like I like that people, you know, care enough to carry something around with them for the right time to do. You know, I mean, it's just cool. You know,
that's true. That's very true. And you know, I wrote a song. I have a song that talks about how, you know, you may have an idea. The songs you know, the best songs that I write are not the songs that I struggle to write. They're the ones that sort of appear in front of you. And you're like, how'd that happen? You know what I mean? And you hear stories about that all the time. I mean, you read about, you know, even the Beatles, you know, you know, a song in an afternoon in like, you know, 15 minutes, they write this song, you know, from a magazine article. Right. And it's it's just crazy. It's like, because I think those are more organic, and so they're more honest. You know, I don't know how else to describe.
I mean, no, I'm more on what you're talking about personally, just sort of like letting it happen for sure. But the other side of that too is like, speaking of the Beatles, like you can go on, I think it's on YouTube. There's just like all the incarnations of Strawberry Fields over the course of like 5 years. And it's like,
right.
You know, I mean, that's the other side of it too. It's just like this whole thing, like, you know, for years and years and all these different structures and kind of, but I'm more with just kind of, you know, writing it as it comes, you know. If I sit down to write a song, like I just want to finish it right then and then fucking move on, you know.
Move on.
I mean, the good thing, that's kind of an interesting way to look to part of that as well. But the Beatles, when they're dealing with the different orchestration and different instrument additions, you're dealing with the production aspects of what the natural song was.
For sure.
Yeah.
And getting that George Martin influx into what John and Paul were doing as they were going.
For sure.
A whole other aspect. But from a singular aspect, I mean, if that's a song you wrote yesterday, your mind works about 1,800 miles an hour faster than I can even speak.
Dude, you get lucky, dude. You know, those are the good ones, man. Is when you feel like you get a little bit lucky, you know. And it's weird that, you know, I think when you're writing a lot, like it's weird. I also, because I hear you with the coming naturally, Mo, and like, but I also just waiting for inspiration is kind of just boring too. So it's like a little, you know, like, you know. I mean,
no, I try to write.
Yeah, like
it doesn't always work. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes it does, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right. Before we get into the next song, I just want to point out that we are promoting Save Our Stages and Drive the Music, two organizations: the National Independent Venue Association and the local Nashville area. But we're talking about venues here that, where I'm meeting people and things like that. And it's very limited right now, as an artist, even if they're taking a cover charge at the door, you're not making very much money because there aren't that many people allowed in. And we want to make sure that these venues stay in business. So anything you can do to help them out is greatly appreciated. So there are 2 organizations you can take a look at. And that includes theaters and every other kind of performance venue there is. But yeah, so why don't we get another song in here, Matthew?
Damn, just firing them up. I like where you're.
Oh yeah, we like to keep going here.
Show about this song.
Cool. I like that. All right, let me throw these cans on one more time. All right, let me just make sure this is in tune. I'm also that weirdo lately that tunes in 432. Like a dirty hippie.
Wow.
Oh God. So now I gotta start carrying a damn capo everywhere I go and fixing stuff.
All right, I'll lay another one on. I got this is another new one that I wrote just the other day, so fuck it.
Call her crazy, but sometimes she's right. You call her lazy, but he's not uptight. And the 2 of them ran off. Catch you later, she told her boss. It's best to cut your loss before it's too late. I'll hit the road with you. Where we are bound. And I'll ramble on with you. Just stay around and we'll go from town to town. Oh, let's go from town to town. You say they're runners, slipping away and blister in the sunners, soaking up the day. And the 2 of them were late, drove in from out of state, carrying big weight across the line. I'll hit the road with you. Where we are bound. And I'll ramble on with you. Just stay around and we'll go from town to town. Well, come on, let's go. Go from town to town. They ditched the car and made some calls from a gas station in Arkansas. None too eager to get caught. He said, darling, the fun don't end if the train don't stop. If the train don't stop, I'll hit the road with you. Where we are bound. and I'll ramble on with you. Just stay around and we'll go from town to town. Well, come on, let's go from town to town. No, we might as well go from town to town, town to town. Well, come on, let's go.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Man, I'm so glad you came on the show, folks. We're here with Matthew Welde today, and we have his some social links up there for you. You can go check him out. This is, I think, Everyone Remembers the Future is actually your website, also, right? Everyoneremembersthefuture.com.
Well, if my following had anything to do with it, it would be called No One Remembers the Future. But or maybe I don't have a future. But it's it's Everyone Remembers the Future. I'm not too keen on the social media, but I'm gonna get better. I promise. So
yeah, we're not going to hold that against you, right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I do want to remind everyone.
If you're busy trying to be an influencer, you're really not busy being a songwriter.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not easily influenced, so I don't assume that people would feel any differently about me.
Well, if you're a singer-songwriter and you want to come on the show like Matthew, all you have to do is go to our website, weirdprose.com, and fill out the form. Matthew did that for me, but he didn't really have to since I met him live. But if you want to come on the show and you're anywhere in the world, we have people from halfway around the world that have been on here, which is pretty cool. But all you have to do is fill out the form. You can come on and play some songs, talk about your music. Speaking of which, in December, Matthew gave himself a challenge. So I want you to talk about the challenge that you gave yourself in December.
So I cornered myself into doing 30 songs in 30 days, which I thought it would be easier, honestly. I didn't think it was, that big of a deal, but it was tough. I mean, I decided to do it, I guess, in September just to do something by the end of the year. I just didn't want to be looking back on 2020 thinking it was just a bummer year with everybody else. So I figured I'd try to do something. And it was fun, man. It was definitely a challenge. Like I had a bunch of songs. I definitely had 30 songs before the month, but I probably, out of all the ones I record them properly, like they're on Spotify and iTunes and everything like that. But probably 20 of them, maybe more, were all written in the past few months. So it was kind of fun, If nothing else, it forced me to write more or something, I was like, well, shit, man, that song's actually not that good. I don't want to put that out, can I do something better? That sort of thing, so.
Right.
But it was cool, man. It was fun,
cool. That's cool. No. And, I read that they're kind of released as a collection, right? Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah. I mean, I just did, I did the whole Dead thing with dick pics and all that shit and everything, where it's this whole treasure chest of shit. I just did collections from the vault. The vault is nothing but my own mind. I have no vault hidden anywhere or secret following of it. I was just no
Geraldo Rivera show.
No, I just took one image and my girlfriend made all these different prints of it, in 8 different EPs. It was just, it's something to do. I didn't want to overthink it or anything, and just, I mean, but that said, I think this year, my plan is I'm obviously going to keep writing and everything, but I'd like to do all those songs again with a full acoustic band, and then do them all again with a full electric band, and just kind of see what they can do. Cause they're so new and songs are weird like that. where for, like these recordings are just me playing just like right here, you know. So
Right.
I think that should be able to stand up in a perfect world, you know, but the reality is that like, you know, songs can kind of come alive in different ways. So I want to
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
playing with like those bluegrass guys, like I was saying, the Monday night guys, Each Nash Grass, like I was like, shit, I would do like 10 of those songs with those guys and just fucking call it a day. You know, you could go in the studio with those dudes and be done in 4 hours. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck yeah. You know, like I don't want to, like, the production stuff's awesome, but you know, until I have like a big budget, if that ever happens or something, like I just want to do it. You know, I'd rather just play.
takes a long time, and you
Dude,
know,
it's a waste of, like, it's just a waste of energy. Like, I mean, well, it just depends. It's just for me, I guess right now, it's just like I just rather play and, you know, see what it sounds like, you know, not worry about it. It's just a song, you know, sort of thing. So
well, you
I
know,
don't know.
if you go into a studio, you know, and you're buying time, and you're under a time constraint, but at the same time, you know, you want to get it right. So
For
it's
sure.
like, you know, it's just kind of weird. It's I just read the other day that what was the song? Tom Petty, I think it was Refugee. I read somewhere they played the song like 100 times in the studio till they got it where they wanted it to.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
and yeah, I mean, I don't know your situation, but I certainly can't afford to play a song 100 times in a studio
No,
that I'm paying for.
no,
So it's a little
no.
bit different.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's also like, you know, I mean, for instance, like with the recordings I did here with my buddy Marcus, just literally around the block from D's, it's like, I mean, I started to figure out, and everyone's different, but like if I didn't get it in the first 3, then like it's not going to get any better or worse, or I don't really know.
Right.
Like for me, you know, with the band is different though. With the band, you know, there's more variables that can fuck up. So you kind of like, you want to get it right. So I mean, I understand that, but that's a lot it takes, dude. I mean, maybe you should go rehearse the song a little more before you get in here or something. I don't know. I mean,
Hey, you tell Tom Petty that. I'm not.
yeah, dude, I'm not saying shit, bro. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you guys, not fucking Tom Petty. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you're talking about that kind of budget on something when you're writing it in a studio.
Well, that's the thing too.
Everybody's working together in a studio, and you have an elongated period of time where you're actually able to spend and log those hours together and
Well,
create
that's,
something differently. That's a totally different process.
I think so. And I think what you're talking about, dude, is like, we also don't know what exactly that means with 100 takes. Like sometimes people come in with like the studio with a budget like that is also your rehearsal space. It's also where you write. It's also where you hang out. And it's kind of like they could have been trying like bridge different here. Let's move. Like it could have still kind of been writing itself. And those are all counted. So who knows? Like
right. It's a lot different when you have, you know, and I think they were at the time they were playing it. They weren't overdubbing anything. They were trying to get it right,
for sure.
You know, playing it as a take, and you know, so there's that. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go at recording that can.
I mean, I love that approach though. I love that approach though. Like, I mean, I don't know, you know, it's like I'm not afraid of overdubs or anything, like but it's nice to just get it, like, you know, just get in there and do it. And then that's kind of what it is. And, you know, I mean,
well, it's a different energy when you're all playing together.
It is like, there's a pressure. Like the thing is like everything, you don't want everything to be so safe and like on a click and all fucking like sorted in a certain way, because then like the nervousness of having to get it and the pressure of that also forces people to play simpler shit, which ultimately sounds better to my ear anyway. So it's like, you know, I mean,
I'm cluttered.
Yeah, you know, like you give, it's also like with rehearsing, if you give like your band too much time to figure everything out, it's weird. I mean, I guess it depends on the kind of music but
it also depends on the personalities of the people involved.
That's right, for sure.
And there can be there are some musicians who work better through having done it 1,000 times before they play it out in public.
For sure, for sure.
But there's a whole other improv energy that I think when I hear you play, especially knowing that those both songs that we've heard so far are so new, that there's an improv to energy and deliberate action in what you're playing that is truly the essence of what you're playing. So too much time in a studio might take that edge off.
For sure. I know. Sometimes you kind of want to strike when the iron's hot. That's when something's
Right.
new, you kind of want to just get it down. Yeah, it's weird. It's tricky, it's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's I mean, totally get it. And hearing you, I completely see where you are with that. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like, the thing is like, I love recorded music, but it's also like, I like to play music more than anything else. I mean, and both are great, but I think there's a cool energy of getting stuff live. I just like live stuff. Like, I mean, but I'm all over the map in terms of what I listen to. But some of those old recordings, there's something in there that aren't in the new recordings, and I don't know how to figure out exactly what that is. But there's certain limitations on approach, like having to have the horn and the background vocals all around the same mic, and you're mixing by distancing from the microphone. Like all those things, all that energy gets into the recording, and it's just makes it like alive, and it's something that you can kind of like feel as opposed to like hear. Like it's like you could play the same stuff, but that stuff's good. I think you want that juju. You want it to be a little hairy. It doesn't have to be all clean. Like
there's a financial urgency and precision that you're hearing, and you're feeling that flow of how things are happening, and you're feeling the energy pass between the musicians who are all trying to do it at the same time, and the reliance on each other, and the team building that's going on simultaneously with the creation, and that is an important energy that you do lose in things that become overproduced.
Right. And Jason, that's the thing too that's so interesting, is like that energy, in my opinion, trumps any of the mistakes that bother musicians and bother people, where it's like that energy is so much more powerful than like the little like missed note in the Neil Young guitar solo. Like no one cares. Right. Like it just doesn't even matter at all. Like, I mean, sometimes you don't even know it's a mistake until you've been playing music for 10 years too. And you're like, I never even heard that. And it's like, they just left it in. Like, I mean, it's great. Like, it's just like, there's a boldness, like,
yeah, there's a couple old country songs. I can't remember what song it is, but there's a song in the middle of the song, a phone rings in the studio. It had you couldn't silent old phone. I mean, it was just a phone, right? Yeah. And you can barely hear it, but it's in there. And you're like,
for sure,
like the take so much,
but that
didn't. Yeah, they were like, it was so good. It's like, we're leaving it in,
dude. That's the whole thing. Like that's like, that shows you where their heads are at, in that like they're not thrown off by those little things, as opposed to like, well, the take is so good and it's so spirited in the moment that like it trumps the other bullshit that's just laying around in there sonically. Exactly. Like no one cares, like
exactly.
It's interesting, like. But yeah, I think an emphasis on takes is like the way to go, and that doesn't have to be live all the time, but like, I don't know.
All right, Matthew, you know what? It's time for another song.
Oh shit.
Get us into another one. Yep. Oh shit's always drink. There you go.
All right. What are we doing here? How about another new one?
That would be
all right. We're liking new stuff. It's good.
Nice. I know. I'm liking the new stuff too. It's keeping it fresh for me. All right. This one's kind of about these crazy times we're living in. Everybody at each other's throats. Anyway, you'll get it.
A new year has come, and a spade ain't a spade. The moon and the sun stayed cool in the shade. If they could hide all the forces of nature, they would, as you try to avoid being misunderstood. But it's all good. Yeah, it's all good to be misunderstood. The future is coming. The signal's unclear. The zombies are gunning, the heroes are here, and both are on trial, saying we did what we could. But everyone here will be misunderstood, but it's all good. It's all good to be misunderstood. Misunderstanding, the company's rebranding, and I'm reprimanding myself. The beings are landing, but trust me, I'm handling the rate of expanding, the death of my name. The death of my name. Well, it's blackmail for breakfast and bribery for dinner. Eat up or you're senseless. You can't get much thinner, but you'd rather go hungry than to get pushed and pulled, while the pushers and pullers get misunderstood. But it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. They're just misunderstood. So don't tell me I'm sorry. Don't tell me I'm saved. I'm not in your army, and I'm not your slave. Spend the rest of my days in a house in the woods. I'd like my creation be misunderstood, but it's all good. It's all good to be misunderstood. Misunderstanding, the company's rebranding, and I am reprimanding myself. The beings are landing, but trust me, I'm handling the rate of expanding, the death of my name. The death of my name. Misunderstanding, the company's rebranding, and I'm reprimanding myself. The beings are landing, but trust me, I'm handling the rate of expanding, the death of my name. The death of my name. Oh, the death of my name.
Nice song.
I
Like
think
that
I
one?
can say that Jason and I are always up for a socially conscious song. We are.
I mean, you're playing my wheelhouse with the energy, the liveness, the awareness in your writing. Is
Hell yeah, thanks, dude.
is right in there. I'm an old folkie, so and I'm not as old as the folkies I know. So
No, I hear you.
What are you saying exactly, pal?
I'm not talking about you. But the people I listened to as a kid I became a country music fan because it was the closest thing I could find to the socially aware folk music that I listened to.
No, for sure.
When I was in a car, when you couldn't choose what you listened to in a car, because I'm that old. and thank you, because you bring that energy into your work and into what you're doing, and I'm loving tonight. Thank you.
Right on, dude. Fuck yeah. No, I feel the same way, man. It's like, that's the thing about folk music, is it's like, and country's the same way, is that it's not that you can't tell stories in other forms of music, but it seems to be the place where the stories are being told the most or something, you know? And what those stories are and what they mean. Like, I mean, country music just has a storytelling kind of tradition in it, folk as well, that I don't know. I mean, rock and roll does too. It's tough, you know. It's weird. I mean,
but
I don't really know.
I think it's the people it's the audience. the audience of country music, the audience of folk music, the audience of Americana want to hear a story. They want to
For sure.
they want to hear what I mean. It's about finding something familiar, regardless of where you are in the space.
Totally.
And finding that common ground. And thank you for writing a song that's socially conscious. It actually says something, and it is about finding the common ground, because
yeah,
there's very
totally.
little of that going on right now.
I know, dude. I hear you, man. I feel the same way. It's kind of crazy, you know. And not that we needed to go veer off into Neverland, but like it is crazy that everyone's just at each other's throats so much. I mean, I mean,
yeah, I like it. I've taken to liking it to the children of divorce right now. We've got two kids fighting over shit that doesn't matter.
Oh, for sure.
Overall, and they're trying to side with which parent they're supposed to go be with.
Yeah, that's right.
Give them the most this week.
See, that's it, dude. That's the trap, man. I know, and it's music has had such a role, like traditionally, like Live Aid and all these awesome things that have happened over the years, like socially conscious, but like it is also interesting, like with the political stuff, because I feel like music, like picking, like musicians kind of picking a side, like I feel like it's songwriters' job to kind of take a step back and not necessarily like above, but like maybe like I would trust Bob Dylan before I trust anyone in fucking politics, like to tell me something true. So it's like, you know, it's like, you know, I think it's also good for people to kind of just like try to get a little more perspective on like the whole thing, rather than like, I don't know.
It's a way to get a viewpoint that might resemble the one that you have from somebody who may be going through the same thing you're going through, trying to fight through the bullshit that you're being fed.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter which bullshit you're getting fed.
Dude, it's all bullshit. Like it's all theater. It's all theater. Like it's you can't. I mean, it's just. I know it's rough, but it's crazy because, like you said, like whatever you're getting fed is that people are having conversations. Like the polarization of the internet. Like when people meet in public, they're having conversations about something, but they have completely different sources of information. Right, so they're not even talking about the same thing. Really, it's getting really weird. Like,
it is weird. It's very weird.
You know, like people aren't, because everyone has their own individualized news source, which is whatever your feed is, or you know. So,
yep,
getting a little hectic. I think a little breather, and you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Some brevity is important.
I think so.
I want to point out one line in the song that just hit me across the face, though, because I loved it. It was blackmail for breakfast and bribery for dinner.
Oh yeah, eat up or you're senseless. You can't get much dinner. Yeah,
God.
for sure.
What a great line, man.
Well, because it's like either it's kind of like if you don't bend the knee to the will of the masses, then like you know you and then after that, but you'd rather go hungry than to get pushed and pulled while the pullers and pushers get misunderstood. It's like, I'm not going to let you push me around when like you're going to get eaten next and you're the one doing it. It's like stop, just stop.
It's a never end. You're right. It's a never ending cycle.
It's the snake eating its own tail forever. And you're just like, I'm good. Like,
you know, I'm continually drawn back, and I'm sorry to derail this conversation.
No, not at all. We're going wherever.
But I had an American history class that the whole premise of my history class was going into the future was what will happen to the American personality when there's no longer a frontier, when there's not something to conquer or a place to go to have your own space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have more than reached it. And we can't go hide on the next piece of land down the road, because if we go any further, we're going into over 1 billion people.
Totally.
So I think that's the part of it. You can make your own rules as long as you have your own space.
That's right. We
don't have that space anymore.
Right.
So somehow we have to live with the rules that have been established, and that accounts for everybody.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
God love you for what you're doing.
That's a good observation.
It is.
Hey,
it is a good observation.
Hey, you know what time it is?
What time is it, sir?
We're going to lighten this up a little bit.
Thank God.
It's time for my hometown.
Sweet.
We do this every week with our guests. We play a game called My Hometown, where we ask 3 questions of our guest about their hometown. If they get 2 out of 3 right, they win this lovely prize, this mug, this Stay Weird Turn Pro mug that we will ship to them. Yeah, with training wheels on it, so you don't have to hold it like a mason jar, like the old mason jars. It comes with a lid and a straw, so if you want to use it outside, you don't have to worry about the birds getting anything in there. So we're going to play the game now, and we're going to give you a chance to win that, Matthew. You indicated on your pre-show questionnaire that you are from Philadelphia.
That is true.
That is true. So we're going to give you 3 questions about Philadelphia.
And you're up against it because you have a Philadelphia almost asking you questions.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I could have made them a lot harder than I did, I think. But he's been away from Philadelphia for a while, so I don't want to get too crazy. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and ask 3 questions. Jason's going to keep score for us on his digits there, and we'll see how you do. Are you all set to begin?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, the first one's pretty easy. What is Philadelphia's nickname?
Brotherly love.
City of brotherly love. That is correct. So he's at 1, right, Jason?
He is at 1.
I'm so familiar with that I didn't even say city of. I just said brotherly love.
Right, brotherly love.
You get it. You know I know.
As long as you get the last part of the sentence in and have a drink of water, you're fine.
Let's see if he gets this one. On what river is Boathouse Row located?
Schuylkill.
The Schuylkill River. That is correct. So Boathouse Row, for those of you who don't know, is where all the crew houses for the Ivy League schools there and the other schools that row on the Schuylkill River. They're all located right along. They all get lit up at night.
So Mo, since I already won the mug and 2 out of 3, can we just cut it here and I'll have a perfect score?
No.
Think about it. Just I know it's against.
I'm gonna have Jason explain why we can't do that. Go ahead, Jason.
As we deal with the fact that we are in a split society, we have to look at the fact that at this point in our show, we have had predominantly male guests on our show, and we have had a few women on our show. And it seems
you're disgusting. Both of you are disgusting.
We're working on it.
We're working. We keep trying. However, when I contact a female artist, it's very hard because it's this dude who she doesn't know going, you want to be on
right.
It's
pretty weird.
No, you're a creep out of the gates. I have this show. We're gonna. Does your video camera work? You're like, what?
So it seems so far that predominantly the female guests on our show have been much more able and resilient in this process and have championed their hometowns much better than the males have. And we only have, I think, one that has not had a perfect score.
Interesting.
And until about halfway through our series, we did not have a male who was able to answer all 3 questions.
Wow.
So
this is so your reason is this is a gender study this is a double blind gender study by the.
It's not so much double blind anymore now that we've announced it to the world.
And as you have proved, you don't even have to breathe before you actually answer the questions that we're asking you at this point. So
I'm still nervous. It's all good. Let's do it.
All right. For the third and final question, what Philly sports team was known as the Broad Street Bullies in the 70s?
I think it's the hockey team. It's the Flyers.
That is correct. The Philadelphia Flyers.
There you go. 3.
Damn. 3 for 3. And he's taking home. Well, he's not taking it home, but he's going to get it mailed to him. A mug. A Stay Weird Turn Pro mug.
Well, then I'm going to bring it inside. So it will eventually come home.
It will eventually come home. That is correct. All right. Very well done. Very well done.
And here's a secret for any future contestants in my hometown. If there's a possibility of having a hockey question, well, our resident hockey coach will ask you that hockey question.
It is true. It is true. It will almost always happen. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to give Matthew a chance to take a 3 or 4 minute break here. And I think it's my turn to play a song this week,
Yes.
but I'm going to play a song for both of you guys. It's actually for all three of us because we're all, well, you are currently, Jason, a Pennsylvania person, and Matthew's from Pennsylvania. And of course I'm from Pennsylvania. So I'm going to play Pennsylvania Moon for you guys, and we'll give Matthew a chance to get off screen and do what musicians do when they're off screen and nobody can see them. And we'll bring them back in a little bit. I don't have my producer. My wife, Joan, is on her way home, but she's not here. So I got to push some buttons here to get myself set up so that you don't have to sit there and smile on the screen while I play. And there we go. So I'm going to grab my guitar here and going to play a song. I wrote this on an airplane flying over Denver, and it's called Pennsylvania Moon. Well, I'm 1,000 miles from home, sitting here drinking my Bud Light all alone. And I'm thinking about when I'm going to see you again, back there in my Pennsylvania home, where the brandy wine runs deep and wide, and the crisp white snow is on the mountainside. And when the Allegheny band plays Roll Out the Barrel again, I'll dance with you beneath the Pennsylvania moon. I miss you more than I can say, and I think about you every single day, sitting by the pond with your favorite sundress on, back there in my Pennsylvania home, where the Susquehanna rises near the bend, and the fields of corn go on without end. When the Allegheny band plays Roll Out the Barrel again, I'll dance with you beneath the Pennsylvania moon. Why I ever came this far, when I wanna be right there where you are. Where the Tussey Mountain range reveals the sun, and the battle was fought to keep the Union one. And when the Allegheny band plays Roll Out the Barrel again, I'll dance with you beneath the Pennsylvania moon. Yeah, I'll dance with you beneath the Pennsylvania moon.
Nice.
Thank you. That's for you boys.
Bringing me back to my roots, Mo.
There you go. Right?
I'm fighting a tear. Fuck yeah. Thanks for the nod, dude. Good old PA.
There you go. All right. Well, let's get back to you. Let's get back to what are you going to do for us next?
I don't know. We could do maybe I'll do one that's on the that I just, released.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Try one of those. This is it's called Till I Get Back Home. When I played it for some people, they were like, God, that's the most morbid shit I've ever heard. But it's really, death is involved. But for me, it's a little more hopeful than that. It's kind of just, it's sort of like, to me, it's sort of like a death, so what, like move on sort of thing, But I don't know if that makes sense or really translates. But,
Let's
I don't know.
Let's
See what you guys think.
You're holding hands with the hands of time, tracing your past each step that you take, reaching a summit you know you must climb, for it's fear and not love that leads to heartache. Look a bit closer, see what you find. You overcome danger, you cut through the lies, you know where you're going, so the rest of you dies. There's a big light shining at the end of the line, and you are holding hands with the hands of time. They'll look upon you with pity and grief, saying chasing the wind won't lead nowhere at all. You look at them and say life is so brief, and you have no wits to pay no mind to the call. They are not you, and you are not them, so follow the vision that's recurring again. Your soul knows it'll happen, but it doesn't know when. This old world knows no stronger force than belief, but they look upon you with pity and grief. Death comes but once and for all. But it is death you must thank from the moment you crawl, and to death say you cheers, I'll meet you someday. And until that day comes, I'll be making my way from the places I've roamed, and I'll be making my way till I get back home. This is a test, make no mistake, to see if you're honest enough with yourself. The answers are hiding in front of your face, and Satan is minding the gates of hell. So do as you wish with the knowledge you've gained. Death's undefeated, no one remains. And if you don't know that beauty lies just beyond pain, then you've never gone far enough. For goodness sake, this is only a test, make no mistake. But death comes but once and for all. But it is death you must thank from the moment you crawl, and to death say you cheers, I'll meet you someday. And until that day comes, I'll be making my way from the places I've roamed, and I'll be making my way till I get back home.
Nice.
All right, man.
What I want to say right now is completely separated from the song itself, but technically and emotion, your ability to emote between you and the guitar is phenomenal.
Thanks, dude. Fuck yeah, what a great compliment that is to hear. Man.
Your ability to balance your voice and the guitar as you're telling your story and talking about what you're talking about is so you're giving. Congratulations. I mean, it's one of those skill sets.
Uh-oh.
Jason.
Oh, there we go.
Jason.
I'm here.
You kind of locked up
Dude,
on your
it's just my luck that right when I'm getting some flattering compliments, the feed goes out. It's just fucked up, dude. I mean, I'm not a dark soul, but I mean, it just fucking makes perfect sense.
No. I mean, I just want to say that your ability to match what your guitar is doing while you're doing it, and your ability to I got lost in how you controlled your vocal volume with your guitar through the interface, through the computer, through everything that was going on. There's a reason why you believe in the live performance of a song.
Yeah,
the
for
energy
sure.
that you provide to it is exactly where your strengths lie. And above and beyond that, I'll move the technical part aside. You look at life from a place where I think a lot of us need to look at life from. And thank you for offering that voice to all of us to hear.
Oh, for sure, dude. Thank you, man.
So,
I don't know where that place is. I mean, it's all pretty unique. You know, everyone's got their own sort of gauge on stuff, but
you seem to, I mean, and this is just, I've known you for now an hour.
for sure. It's been the best hour of my life too, Jason. Don't worry about that, brother.
I can't wait till I get to Nashville.
Mo's like, who is this asshole, dude? How do we get this guy on the fucking show?
I spent a lot of hours with Jason. Yeah. I'm just trying to think in my head which one of these was the best hour I spent of my life.
No, dude. Now Jason's like, dude, Mo, stop finding people in bars. We'll just stick to the people that want to be on the show. That submit on their own.
I gotta tell you,
your
perspective, your ability to draw back and watch what's going on around you is one of those intangibles that a songwriter really needs to be able to create something that actually reaches the people around them.
For sure. It's interesting, dude. Yeah.
And being able to take that fisheye lens and draw back.
Dude, that's a really good point.
And say, what is actually happening at this moment, instead of becoming the emotional aspect, which a lot of people want to do.
Dude, for sure, dude.
Draw themselves into picking a side in the fight.
That's fucking where it's at, dude. You're right. You're on it, dude. I agree with what you're saying.
And I see that. I hear that in what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that in the aspect that you bring to the conversation. And I will add in there that I have mentioned this in past episodes that I have kind of a my holy trinity of songwriters. One is the late John Prine. One is the late.
Can't disagree with that. Sorry, who was number two?
The late Steve Goodman.
Nice.
And then I have a modern tent here, and I love Evan Felker's take on the world.
I don't know that stuff, dude.
Turnpike Troubadours is where he spent most of his time, and so it's actually it's a perspective.
His songs are very story oriented, like yours are. Not only are his songs story oriented, but the songs all connect the same characters over and over and over again. It's kind of
writing a novel.
Cool.
See, dude, that's what the fuck. Yeah, dude. I can't. So I'm gonna look up Turnpike Troubadours after this. Right? Okay, cool.
Pretty great.
They have a bluegrass tent to them, and then they have a heavy metal tent into them as well. So they kind of speak to a lot of different parts of my soul.
That's awesome, dude.
But he comes from the same hometown as Woody Guthrie in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So there's, so in that we have Woody Guthrie as well, because he has to be in effect. And
well, I mean, for sure.
Storytelling of each one of those individuals. But your ability to walk away from the problem and create a story outside of whatever's going on at this moment is, I'm not going to say that your style is the same as far as musically, but I'm going to say your perspective and your view at the world. Really, I'm drawn to Steve Goodman every song you pull out. There's something else that gives me that
Nice, cool,
and there's really no explanation to it. I can't draw a phrase or a moment in it, but your perspective on what's going on. Generally, you go to the dark side, and he went to the humorous side.
Yeah, for sure. No, well, that's the thing, dude. Is it's so fucked up. It's like comedians and musicians are like the same kind of fucked up people, and it's like that's what I love about John Prine is that like he takes the more comedic approach, while say like Townes takes the darker approach. Both are like so effective in this way, but like, you could tell that they would be chopping it up at a bar together in the same sort of way. Like they're coming from the same place, but it's just expressed a little different.
Right.
I like comedy and lightness and sarcasm in music a lot. I'm not like the best at it, maybe. Like I just don't really,
that you spend more time writing and finding what you already have as a voice. I mean, I wouldn't say look for a different voice. I would say as you continue moving, and let's face it, we are in the beginnings of, we have been moving into a more serious time.
For sure.
And we have been moving from a point of happy feel good music into a darker tone.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make sense though. When people are hurting, like being in the club, like you're like, what?
Let's continue that thought, in the fact that if we're looking at it, the product that the society that delivered us Steve Goodman and John Prine, because they came out of the same biscuit pan, really was after the darkness hit and had been here for a while. Their songwriting developed the humor and style that it created, because they couldn't have written those songs in 1968 when they were first starting to write songs,
right?
Or moving into writing songs. It wasn't until we went through, 2 assassinations and an impeachment that we really got. I mean, Arlo was already starting to work into that area of humor with what was going on, the satire of the situation, but those two kind of took it and ran with it.
Yeah, for sure.
In a way that the subculture that they lived in and created and made through society actually made that voice happen. And I have to think that it's not going to be much longer until we have that same situation here.
For sure. For sure.
So keep going. I mean, I love what you're creating, and I love your compositions. You got a lot of talent. So
thanks, man. I appreciate that. Fuck yeah.
I was excellent. I just didn't realize what it meant.
I told him to buckle up. Yep. Hey, let's do another one. Come on, let's do another one.
All right, shit, dude. You don't have to fucking yell at me, Mo. I mean, goddamn. You guys are awesome. This is fun. All right, cool. Let me see. I'll do one that's more of a. Sorry, I know that's annoying, but it's more annoying if I sound like shit. So, this is a fun one. This is sort of a, I don't know. This song sounds like it's not really from any time for me, but it's still new in the past 6 months. I forget what it's called.
Packed our bags in the afternoon, then we tied each horse. I cleaned my spoon. If I die before I wake, let Riley's firstborn have my take. May the sun shine down on me. Across the pass where the rivers merge, I saw their camp. I thought occurred. It matters not how big the score, as how many thieves you divided for. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me. Each one of us an honest man, but appetites devour a plan. First we must secure the gold before men get wise and their feet get cold. May the sun shine down on me. We broke those men and we got the loot. I shot a man, I stole his boots. We laughed until our breath was gone, but I would not sing that victory song. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me. Now you can count from 1 to 5. I'm liable if you're alive. If one gets caught, well, that's the end for all of us, you understand. So may the sun shine down on me. And I will not be returning dear, in part for greed, in part for fear. Some will win and some will lose, and some will try on brand new shoes. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me. May the sun shine down on me.
Excellent.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I like that one. It sounds real old, but or to me it does anyway. You know, all those cowboy songs and shit like that. They're so
Yeah. It's the thing. It was like a border song. Yeah.
Totally, like some sort of Southwest vibe or something. You know,
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
It's a great
but
song.
I like that one.
I picked a good one here, didn't I, Jason?
Yes, good job. Good job. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I'm so stoked to be here. I'm honored to be invited. You guys got a really cool thing going. It's awesome. This has been so much fun.
We are overtime right now. Yeah, we have gone overtime, but it's been fun. I think we're gonna try to wrap it up here.
Sounds great.
I think because we've been over, we should probably talk about what we've been drinking.
Yes. What are you drinking? I got a Tennessee Brew Works State Park Blonde again. These guys are great. Good food, good beer. Can't beat it. What do you got, Jason?
I moved out of state. I'm up in Grand Rapids, Michigan tonight with Founders, and I will say it the way it needs to be said. A dirty bastard is what I got in my hand.
Nice. I actually don't have anything on my table right now. I guess I finished my Dunkin' Donuts coffee that I brew at my house.
There you go.
I don't think it's from anywhere special. I don't know where their beans are from. They're probably sourced by Monsanto in a plastic bin and delivered directly to me. I mean, I like the taste of it.
Perfect. So I do want to mention that we do have the tip jar up. So if you've enjoyed Matthew's music and you want to send him a little something, there's the Venmo link, so you can go ahead and send that along. You'll have to ask him why it says John. I don't know.
It's official. You have to blame my mom for that.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. All right. So we want to thank everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. And I know that Jason did. Jason is going to get off the show and go try to write a couple songs, I know, as soon as we're done. So I'm sure you've inspired him significantly. Yeah. I do want to mention that we're still working on next week, but we'll send something out through social media so everybody will know. Like I said, I just found out today that we have somebody who's interested in coming on the show. that I think you're really she's going to give Matthew a run for his money. I think so. It'll be fun.
I like
It'll
it.
be fun.
I like
So
it.
so
I don't have any money, but that's another. That's a different show. We'll
right.
do
That's the way it goes. All right. So folks, again, thank you for watching. Same weird channel, same weird time next week.
Same weirdos.
And
you guys are weird as fuck. I gotta say, weird as all hell.
Excellent. That's what we're shooting for.
Hell
and
yeah.
I just want to remind everyone, as Hunter S. Thompson once said, when the going gets weird,
the weird turned pro.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
Thanks, guys. That was a blast.